Welcome back to another episode of Blindside Sports. We have a double episode for you guys this week. Now, we did episode number 19 last week. Hold on, let me check that. The more we get in, the more confused I get with the amount of episodes we do. Hold on. We did episode 19 on Wednesday, I believe. Okay, that was a bad job by me because guess what? We are on episode 20. I should have known that. All right. Welcome into the show, everybody. I hope y'all are having a good Saturday as I'm recording this. I know it's a little last minute due to we have the two NFL games set to kick off today. But you know what? For just recording an episode Wednesday night, we actually have a pretty solid episode. Not gonna lie. What we got today is Aaron Rodgers and mainly Boomer Esiason may have trolled everyone. And if this is true, Aaron Rodgers is an absolute idiot. But it's not true. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Triggered Baker Mayfield. I smell triggered in the air. AB is delusional. And our last story before we get to the picks is Russell Wilson is confirming to stay in Seattle. All right. So if you guys didn't see this yesterday, Boomer Esiason, according to him, had sources that Aaron Rodgers, the Packers quarterback, obviously, did not want to play in the Super Bowl. If they made it to the Super Bowl, he was going to boycott it because of all of the COVID-19 restrictions. This is probably the dumbest story I think we've ever covered because there's, first of all, no way, no how this is true. Like, if this is true, then geez, what an absolute bleep show, man! Like, really? So, like, I would just be like impressed. And if this guy boycotts the Super Bowl, right? If he, tries to boycott the Super Bowl, then I got news for you. This guy is a literal idiot. This guy is stupid. His trade value is gonna rise. All right, it's obviously it's BS. This is just one of those stories where you're like, why even report this, Boomer? Like, I'm just not buying that story. I mean, you guys can. I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers, he's not. We know his stance on COVID, and Boomer Esiason, maybe I don't know where his sources came from. I really don't. I don't think these are true, but I just had to talk about it because it's such a funny story. Now, Baker Mayfield, he's in the news again. We're always bringing Baker Mayfield's name up. He was in the news because he got traded, or he was gonna get traded, right? Like, there's rumors. I forgot the name of the reporter who reported it at first, but she was saying that, look, there's rumors that Baker Mayfield could be traded from the Cleveland Browns in the offseason. He doesn't like Kevin Stefanski, and he's tired of the Browns. Basically, what was said. Baker Mayfield comes out on Twitter the other day. Hold on. I could find this exact quote, but it was something along the lines of that, like, it's clickbait. And Mary Kay Caba is the reporter's name. He basically goes on to say that, look, this is like the media, this is clickbait, blase, blase, all of this stuff. And look, I get it. I'm a guy in the media. We like to make stuff out of nothing, right? We like to make stuff out of nothing. And look, when people are putting, I'll say this, he went off, right? He blasts all of us. But at the same time, when you put words in another man's mouth like that, I mean, let's just say this. Maybe he didn't want it to get known, right? But that's never going to happen. But I just feel like when you put words in another man's mouth like that, you kind of expect you could get a backlash. But at the same time, the same token, we are talking about the media, sports talk media. anything is possible, right? You could there could be a lot worse. And I feel like at the same time, man, you just gotta deal with these rumors, right? Like that's just part of the media. We're gonna have these rumors come out, to talk. It's partially the internet, it's partially social media, but at the same time, man, like you have to look at it from the player's point of view, though. They kind of have a right to be a little bit salty, a little bit, shake that salt on your French fries a little bit. They gotta be that level of salty, right? Like it's understandable when like stuff gets thrown in your mouth like that. But at the same time, like I said, it's the media. This is probably gonna get worse, man. With like for players, like with all these reports. So I mean, you just gotta. I mean, you can rip the media all you want, but it ain't the best for you. Why don't we talk about this Antonio Brown situation where he went on a podcast, right? And the guy that he interviewed or that like was on the podcast was basically, let's just say this guy was scared of AB. I'm gonna see if I could put the audio. Hold on, let's see if I can find a way to play the audio through here. Hold on. All right, so we're gonna try and play this Antonio Brown audio for y'all. Let's do it.
You Zoom.us screen Zoom share toolbar window system dialog.
All right, let's see.
Mute Zoom.us has Zoom launch messages for Safari. Antonio Brown on Tom Brady full send interview YouTube window. Play. You are currently in the main.
Tom Brady's my friend. Why? Because I'm a good football player. He need me to play football, right? These guys called me to win the Super Bowl, not for the toilet bowl. They didn't say, AB, we having problems with the toilet over here in Tampa. You think you could flush the shit down and help us out? No, they called me and said, hey, AB, we need you to win the Super Bowl because Tom Brady saw me come to the Pats and run through those guys. The Patriots run a good system with practice and details, and he learned that AB's a professional. No matter what you say about AB, AB put his heart on the line. AB know to play when it's fourth down because he was studying up all night. He know the two huddle. I can count on him. But that's on the football field.
So as a person with you and Tom, you wouldn't consider him your friend, or would you consider...
Pause. Save as. Antonio Brown on... You are... Doc. Discord.
So
1 right.
Brown
Zoom. Meetings. Chat. 2 of 5 button. You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control.
Antonio Brown. He had a lot to say, right? He had a lot to say. He basically was like, look, as you guys heard in the audio, they're calling to win a Super Bowl. I got 2 words for you. Antonio Brown, stop it. He goes on to say in the interview, he's like the better player on the Bucs. The Bucs didn't bring you in specifically to win a Super Bowl. I personally think y'all could have won without Antonio Brown. The reason they brought you in was because Tom Brady was vouching for you. Tom Brady thought that you could be a better guy, right? Tom Brady thought that you could be a better guy. Tom Brady was like, I'll give this man another chance. He clearly liked you as a dude enough to bring you in, right? Does that mean the whole team wanted you? Nah. Yes, and I will say, okay, maybe it was Tom Brady. Tom Brady may have LeBron and forced you in. I get that. But the delusion. I didn't play this audio. You are not the best WR on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Stop it. All right? Stop it. The best WR on the Buccaneers, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. You are the third. You are not 2015 prime AB. You're a good player. I'll take you, but you're not that anymore. So now you speak out and you go on to say like how the coach, you felt disrespected as a coach. If he really said that, then man, okay. I just don't know. And it's a weird situation. I just had to play that audio for you guys, and I had to say that AB, you were just there. Tom Brady wanted you. That's all it was. I don't think you were there to help win a Super. I think you guys would have won without AB. Moving on. It is official. Russell Wilson is gonna stay. Well, it's not official. All right. According to Russell Wilson, it's official. He's gonna stay with the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson goes on to say, "I have a trade clause for no reason or for a reason, so I just don't get traded anywhere." Right? What does that mean? It looks okay. He's probably gonna stay in Seattle, right? That could mean Russell could just be like, "Yo, I want out," but I don't think that's very likely because he keeps like deflecting this like the whole time. Like I just don't think that is very very likely. All right, Russell Wilson's probably gonna be at the Seahawks a little longer, and you know what? We just got it. It just happens that way. It's cool to see because look, like I said, if we can rebuild around Russell Wilson, I would be more than okay with that. I would be down for that. But hey, if we couldn't, rough. But it looks like they're gonna try and make it work. I hope some actual moves happen in the offseason to like improve the team's chances of winning. But it's the Seahawks. Who knows? Probably not. But look, Russell Wilson's here, hopefully for the future, at least for the next 2 years. He has 2 years left on his deal. But then if you're the Seahawks, if you have a feeling he's leaving, maybe you trade him so you actually get something back and you just don't lose him to free agency. That's an interesting thought. But look, it looks like Russell's here to stay, and that's a good thing for me and for any other Hawks fans. Maybe not for the NFC West, but look, it's all that matters. If I'm the Ravens, and it seems clear that Lamar Jackson is going to be their guy, I wouldn't be opposed to trading Tyler Huntley. If he's done pretty solid in these past 3-4 games he's played with the Baltimore Ravens. Tyler Huntley has some value. Why not ship him off? Right? Another pick, another weapon for Lamar, another lineman, another defensive player. You could do so much with it, and Tyler Huntley deserves to be a starting quarterback. He could do something somewhere. This isn't an overreaction. He was solid against the Rams. He was solid against or he was great against the Packers. He was good against the Browns. Like, this guy's a overall good quarterback. Like, and I think if he gets traded to the right place, he could come into a quite impressive starting quarterback, right? Quite impressive. All right, let's get over to some picks on Blindside Sports. We're gonna be betting we're going with the spread, talking about the games. All right, let's start with this one. Kansas City versus Denver. The Chiefs are favored by it's a the spread's -11, and the over under for points scored is 45. Now, obviously, the Chiefs and Broncos played each other earlier on Sunday Night Football, and it wasn't the best of games for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that Chiefs offense is going to show out and maybe shock the defensive, the Broncos defense. I am going to take. I don't like that spread. I think it's going to have. There's going to be more potential for that one. Obviously, I will roll with the Kansas City Chiefs here. If we have to take it over under, I'm trying to think. You know what? I'm gonna have like the Chiefs putting up like 27 and the Broncos putting up like 13. I feel like they're trying to bait me into this one, and I don't really like it. So I'm gonna take the under on that one. This is gonna be a pretty solid game. If the Chiefs win, they need a Titans loss and something else to happen, and they get that bye in the AFC. So I bet they're praying the Titans lose to the Houston Texans. But the Chiefs are probably gonna go all in today, just for the off chance that the Titans blow it and they're gonna lose to the Texans. That could happen. It's gonna be interesting though to see that Denver defense. go up against Patrick Mahomes for the second time. See if Patrick Mahomes can have a little bit better performance. Like I said, though, I'm going to roll with the Kansas City Chiefs. Dallas Eagle or the Cowboys versus the Eagles -5. Dallas is a 5 points for the spread. I'm actually gonna take the Eagles in this one, and for this reason, the Cowboys have not been looking like the usual Cowboys in the second half of the season. The Eagles are on their up and up, right? You got Jalen Hurts, who is starting to ball out. He's been balling out, right? That Cowboys team, you have no Trayvon Diggs. He's out with the uncovid like illness. You have no Tony Pollard, and Cowboys are just gonna. I just don't see him winning it. Also, because like the Eagles have like that offense is kind of crazy. Like you got Jalen Hurts who can run the ball and they could just pass it for a touchdown, and like they have their run schemes going. I would be, if I'm the Eagles, though, I would be a little bit worried about that defensive, like Micah Parsons, like him maybe stopping it. But overall, I'm gonna take the upset here. Eagles 27, Cowboys 20. I'm not thinking it's gonna be a blow. I think the Cowboys are still gonna show out. Obviously, we're taking the over in points. That's 47 points total. But hey, man, the Eagles, they're gonna go for it. Cowboys are forcing the NFC right now, so they have something going for them. But the Eagles are balling. Another over under a 43 here with another spread -5. Ravens Steelers, that is. Ravens are favored -5. I'm gonna bet against the spread here. If I had to bet, I'd take the Ravens by more than that. Probably like 31-14. That Steelers offense just doesn't show much to me. Big Ben looked like hot garbage last week. All right, I'll say it. Give me the over in points just because the Baltimore Ravens. Wouldn't be surprised if they dropped the 30 burger on them. That Steelers offense is going to be lackluster. And the reason I'm picking this game is because there's still a chance of the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of these teams, making the playoffs. A lot would have to happen, but there is still a chance for one of these teams to make a playoff run or to make the playoffs, which is kind of crazy. Actually, another thing just popped in my head. We're gonna do this after the picks. Quarterbacks with the most playoff pressure, right? We're gonna hit that after we hit these picks. But overall, yeah, I think that Ravens offense is gonna do good. I think Tyler Huntley's gonna have a great game against that Steelers D. Ben Roethlisberger, that offense is just too much for me to bet the Steelers on a close game with how garbage they were against that Browns team on Monday Night Football. This could be Big Ben's potential last game, but I don't care. That was his last home game, and he crapped the bed like that. Interesting over-under here in the Seahawks Cardinals, as the Cardinals are favored by -6.5. And another second half slump team, but the Seahawks aren't really that good against the Cardinals. So if I had to pick one, I'm going to pick the Cardinals. I think it's going to be more than 6.5 point lead. I think it's like a 10-point game. And I'll bet the over in that for the points. I'll take 31-20, giving us 51 total points. Kyler Murray's going to have a field day against the Seahawks defense. We can't stop anything. The Lions are starting to come back on us with Tim Boyle at quarterback. What does that show you, right? I think that Seahawks offense, I think we do have potential to show out. I do. I think we actually will. I think we'll put up like 20 points, which isn't bad. But overall, that Cardinals offense is going to best us. There's also going to be some times where Russell Wilson is sacked in this one as well. Chargers Raiders, with the Chargers favored by 3. And I have officially seen one of the dumbest stories I think I've ever seen. We're talking about a lot of dumb stories today. All right. we are talking about a lot of dumb stories today. All right. Just a lot of dumb stories. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but say the Jaguars beat the Colts tomorrow. The Chargers Raiders could tie and make it to the playoffs. And people are actually down for this. There are some Charger and Raider fans. Hello, is this thing on? Rob Guerra, can you hear me? Who think that this should happen? All I'm gonna say is to you Chargers and Raiders fans, come on, bro. Really? Are you serious? Is this a joke? Like, this is a game of football. This is your rivalry, division rival. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? This is your division rival. This is probably one of the worst stories I think I've ever talked about due to the fact that it's so stupid and ridiculous. The Chargers and Raiders aren't gonna kneel the ball down. They have the chance to beat a team and knock them out of the playoffs. It infuriates me. This is why we play the game to win. We don't play football to tie. Are you serious? We play the game to win. The Chargers Raiders are going to play to win. They're going to try and beat their division rival to make it to the playoffs. Can you just imagine how lame would that be? If this it's not going to happen, but if this were to happen, I'd come on here and rip whatever team kneeled for at least 45 minutes. It would be a whole episode dedicated to ripping this team. And yeah, sorry, I got a little fired up. All right. This matchup is very important. Very important. Probably the best matchup of the week. We got Chargers, Raiders both locked in at 9-7. Raiders, the Raiders have been surprisingly good as of late. This is going to be a close game. And I would say Chargers, right? But I just know Brandon Staley. I think this could be a close game, like a 2-point game or 3-point game, something like that. I know what's going to happen. It's going to be a shootout. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brandon Staley screwed over the Chargers. I would not be surprised if that happened with a dumb, stupid 4th down call. It just takes one. Clearly, we were not in a Chiefs game. One bad play, that game is over, right? Like, you had the Chiefs where if all the Chargers needed was to go for it one last time on 4th down and kick a field goal, and they would have beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, really? Anyways, but I really enjoy the Chargers. It infuriates me to have this horrible big ball Staley stuff on 4th down. Raiders offense is going to show out. I do believe there is potential for Darren Waller to come back out of injury, right? I heard something about that. I could be wrong. Easy over for the points. 49. That's people are thinking this could be a sucker over under, but look, 49 points. These two offenses, this could go over that. I'm gonna take it 30-27. I think it could go like 8 points over the initial. Both these high octane offenses, like you got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, Justin Herbert, balling out. You got Derek Carr over there on the offense with Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfrow, maybe Darren Waller. So that is definitely gonna be an interesting game. Really looking forward to this one. Sunday night, 5:20 p.m. Okay, so we got the Patriots and the Dolphins, with the Patriots favored by 6.5. And if the Patriots win, they make it to the playoffs. Dolphins win, they make it to the playoffs. I really like this. The spread. I wouldn't be surprised if it was more than 6.5 because let's be real. When the Dolphins played a halfway decent quarterback in Ryan Tannehill last week, they wet the bed. And look, the thing is with the Dolphins is they're 7 games. Don't get me wrong. Winning 7 games is quite impressive. I don't know if I said that in the last podcast when I ripped them. It was a couple podcasts ago. But a 7-game winning streak is quite impressive. But when you look at who they were playing, the best quarterback they played was Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson hasn't really been all that in the second half of the season. That Patriots defense is like really good. The Dolphins defense, yeah, it shows glimpses. But the Patriots are just like the better team, and Matt Jones is a younger quarterback. Like those 7 teams were literally like the Jets, Giants, Panthers, Texans maybe were in there. Maybe I think it was the Jets twice actually. Not the best of football teams, right? Patriots, they've kept it close, and sometimes have even won against good football teams. Patriots are the better team here. The over under. Oh, the over under is 40. Ooh. I'm gonna take the under. I won't be surprised with like a 21-16 type situation here for the Patriots prevailing, but I'm gonna take the under for the points for the New England Patriots. Rams Niners. Rams favored by 4.5, and this one the over under is 44.5. Look, Matthew Stafford is such a weird player to pick to like first heat. Like when we picked him against the Niners that last time, I was dead off. The Niners crushed it, and this is a situation where it's hard to pick. But I'm actually gonna lean towards the upset and take the Niners minus the 4 or plus the 4.5. Right? And the over under of this game, 44.5. Give me the under by like 3 points. 27-24 49ers. I just think Matthew Stafford's gonna have a weird game. Niners have been surprisingly good this year, and there could be some issues on that defensive line, but I think Deebo Samuel could easily make a play. Blindside Sports, Emmett Douglas with you. Before I hop on out of here, though, right? Before I get on out of the show, top 3 quarterbacks with the most playoff pressure. Number 1, this is a chop pick, Matthew Stafford. This guy in Detroit was obviously known as the Stat Padford, and this is his time to crush it, right? This is time for him to actually have a good game in the playoffs and prove these narratives wrong. We don't know what Matthew Stafford's like in the playoffs, and if he were to lose with this Rams team, then all hope and faith has been lost for Matthew Stafford, and he's definitely known as the Stat Patter, right? Definitely known as a Stat Patter. Number 2, I don't like to say this, but I'm gonna have to say Aaron or Kyler Murray with the, this is obviously we've been ripping Kyler on this podcast left and right with his second half slumps. This is time to prove me wrong. Prove us media haters wrong. The Cardinals have a sneaky good team. If that play call can work in Kyler's favor and he can show out, the pressure's on Kyler because look, you can have all these great first halves, right? But when you choke in the second half, when you some of the games that Kyler Murray had in the second half isn't very good, right? But when you choke like Kyler Murray, or not choke, why am I saying that? But just there's some pressure put on Kyler Murray to do something. Like last year, the Cardinals missed out on the playoffs by choking to the San Francisco 49ers. What does that say about it? Number 3, I had to think about this. Right? I think there's a fair amount of quarterbacks with playoff pressure on them. And I was leaning between Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott. And overall, I'll have to take Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers, this could be his, if the Packers don't do something in the playoffs, it could be known as Aaron Rodgers, but then he's going to try and leave. This has big implications for the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers could take him to the Super Bowl, It proves, okay, Aaron Rodgers actually does have that clutch playoff gene. Aaron Rodgers is actually something in the playoffs. But Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. We'll have to wait and see, right? That's why I think there's pressure on him. Dak Prescott is a close third. I just think there's much more on the line for Aaron Rodgers. Thank y'all so much for checking out episode 20. Get me on Twitter at EmmettNoC04. Follow the show at BlindsidePod11. Instagram BlindsideSports00. TikTok BlindsideSports7. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Peace. Drop a like, down the podcast, share, sub, follow, turn noties on because word of mouth advertising is the best.